Hi, my name's Bob Zybach. I'm standing next to the Umpqua Memorial Stone. It's here dedicated to 15 men who were killed in 1828 in July. We built this monument. It was started in the year 2000, 25 years ago, by Wayne Knauf and other members of the Jedediah Smith Society.
At that time, Wayne met with Jim Auld, the author, and Al LePage in Reedsport to discuss establishing a permanent memorial for the men who were killed. They met with the mayor of Reedsport and put a wreath into the water and said a prayer from an 1800 prayer book. Wayne then met with his friend and tribal elder and historian, Don Whereat, who provided him with an oral history account by George Wasson of the event. Don went to the site, used the information from historical records, and located the burial site. Early in 2023, the Jedediah Smith Society had a rendezvous that met at the burial site, and at that location, David Gould offered to donate a memorial stone. Cathy Schneider and her trained cadaver dog, Max, then went to the site and located human remains within the area that Don Whereat had located. With that verification and Don Whereat's notes, the state of Oregon recognized the location as the earliest cemetery in Douglas County. David Gould selected a stone for the memorial from a local quarry, and with the help of local businesses such as the Maine Rock Quarry and Mast Brothers, put the stone into its place. We had a bronze plaque made at an Oregon business, Bronze Works, and David and I met and installed the plaque into the stone.
Oregon Websites and Watersheds Project took over the effort, working with the Oregon and California Trails Association and the Jedediah Smith Society.
On October 28th, we had a dedication of the stone, and it made the front page of the local newspaper.
The people buried here include a black man named Peter Ranney, several Americans, some Canadians, and several Métis folks, part Indian, part French. We recently, Wayne Knauf dedicated more funding to enlarge this project to include a storyboard at the, and we've decided to add the local weigh station. Here is the weigh station. It was a scaling shack before. It was put in 1968 by Tom Lilleboe in construction. He did lots of historic bridges, and it measured the timber coming in off the Oxbow burn, the 1966 Oxbow burn. This is where we displayed the storyboard for the Umpqua Memorial celebration on October 28th. And it's where we want to put in a permanent board as well as a history of the weigh station. And concern is access and egress, and particularly for kids in a school bus. So logging trucks used to come in here to get weighed, and we can see that there's a long stretch of right-of-way. There's a Winnebago and a couple cars parked. There is a lot of room for safe access and egress to this location. Here is the north side of the weigh station. We decided to use this portion to tell the story of weigh stations and local logging history. So the parts that remain to be done here, blackberries, Himalayan blackberries that need to be cleared. The building needs to be restored and painted. That's part of this project. And then this back side here will be a timeline that doesn't tell the story of the Umpqua Memorial, but tells the story of logging and wildfire and the history of towns that were in this area in the 1850s and on. We've got a bad blackberry problem here, so one of the problems with this project is to do the landscaping. It'd be nice to get some stairs down to the water if we have enough funding to do that. The blackberries need to be taken care of, and we need somebody here to take management responsibility so that there's not vandalism or people camping here or the weeds encroaching on the weigh station again.
The storyboard was developed through review of the Jedediah Smith Society. The final design was made to look like a 1850s or 1870s newspaper. And it was put together by Ellen Amelia Designs of Cresswell. The storyboard includes first-hand and second-hand accounts of the killing of the men. John McLaughlin sent a relief party to the area. He had first-hand information from one of the survivors, Black. Jedediah Smith and 2 other survivors arrived at Fort Vancouver the following day. And on the relief party, Alexander McLeod, who led it for the Hudson's Bay Company, interviewed Chief Starnews, a well-known Indian chief and local personality. Printing the storyboard, restoring the way station, and managing the vegetation are the next steps needed to complete this memorial.